Brain death or neurological death is a term which has which the society understands less. The general aspect of death in India is heartbeat stops. That is basically the heart stops functioning. So the general understanding is if the heart is not working, the person is dead. But that is your cardiac death. This is cardiac death. Now there is another form of death called brain death. Brain death or neurological death. This has less understanding in the society, and brain death is slightly different from your cardiac death. Both are death, but there is slight difference according to the definition and other aspects. Now, brain death is not coma. In coma, a person becomes unconscious, his response is less. But coma is a different thing and brain death is a different thing. So, let's go into the definition, or let's go into the act which defines death in India. Now, the act which defines brain death in India is your Transplantation of Human Organ Act 1994. The act is your Transplantation of Human Organ Act 1994. So this also defines brain death, and this is also related to organ donation and transplantation. So this act defines brain death. So under this act or law, if the brain stem of a person stops functioning, that person is considered to be brain dead. So here, according to the Indian Act, if the brain stem is not working, the person is considered to be brain dead. So that is the Indian definition according to Transplantation of Human Organ Act 1990. Now brain has three portions. Anterior, middle and posterior. The posterior and middle portion together forms the middle stem. So the middle and posterior portion, brain had three portion: anterior portion, middle portion and posterior portion. The posterior or the last one and the middle one together forms the brain stem. If there is injury to head or brain stroke, you will find often on road accident or something falls on the head or the head bangs against a wall. So you will find whenever there is an injury, that area gets inflamed, swelling is there. So there will be swelling in the, so if there is injury to head or a brain stroke, there will be inflammation in the brain. Now due to hard skull, the entire pressure of inflammation is toward the base of the skull. The upper portion, the only opening is at the base of the skull. Skull is a hard portion that cannot expand, so it is toward the base of the skull. So here you have the opening, so the entire swelling is directed toward the base of the skull. So in case of your inflammation in the brain tissue, the doctor tries to control inflammation in the brain. But in case the doctor does not succeed, this pressure due to inflammation may exceed the BP or blood pressure. Therefore, supply of blood to the brain is affected. The blood moves from heart to the brain. Now brain is in the upper portion. Now due to excess inflammation, it exerts a pressure, and this pressure becomes more than the blood pressure. So the supply of blood and oxygen to the brain cell is affected or impaired, and in the absence of oxygen the brain stem cell dies. And after death, see, one is death of the brain stem cell, and after that a process called lysis. Lysis means the cells get destroyed and they become liquid. There is lysis of the brain stem cell and it gets liquefied. And once the process of liquefaction is complete, once the brain stem cell gets liquefied, the person is dead and he cannot be revived. So if the liquefaction of the brain stem cell has taken place, then the person is dead and it cannot be reversed under any condition, and it cannot be reversed. It cannot be reversed under any condition. So this is the condition of your brain death. This is the condition of your brain death. Now, the general understanding in the society is about cardiac death. We understand that if the heart is not working, then the person is dead. That is your cardiac death. Cardiac death. Now, contraction of the cardiac muscle is regulated by SA node or pacemaker. SA node is also called what? Pacemaker. Normally, when the patient is under critical condition, when the patient is in critical condition, the patient is put on ventilator. So under critical condition, you put the patient on ventilator. Now say the brain is dead, brain stem cell die and it becomes liquefied. So brain death has occurred, but though the person is brain dead, still the heart continues to vibrate. So the heart can continue to function or vibrate in case of a brain dead person. Why? Because the heart vibration starts from an autonomous muscle called pacemaker, which is present in the heart itself. And the process of heartbeat can continue for 2 days. Can continue for 2 days up to few weeks. 2 days to few weeks if oxygen is supplied from ventilator. Normally 2 to 3 days it will happen. So even after brain death, the heart can continue to vibrate if it is supplied oxygen from outside. If it is supplied oxygen from outside. Now, according to the Indian Act, that is Transplantation of Human Organ Act, according to the Indian Act, that is Transplantation of Human Organ Act, diagnosis of brain death is done by a team of 4 doctors. Diagnosis is done by a team of 4 doctors. Number 1, doctor in charge of the patient. Number 2, doctor in charge of the hospital. Number 3, a neurologist or a neurosurgeon. And number 4, an independent specialist. Any PG doctor could be there. An independent specialist. But the burden of proof, the person who has to prove it, but the burden of proof is on the specialist of neuroscience, either the neurologist or a neurosurgeon. And other members will be present over there and confirming his diagnosis. So the test would be done in the presence of all. And all the 4 doctors, they need to sign each test that has been done to document the absence of brain stem function. So there are certain tests which is done to analyze whether the brain stem is functioning or not. So all the tests must be signed by all the 4 doctors, including the specialist of neuroscience. Now why this is important? The point is, in case of your normal death, in case of normal death or cardiac death, in case of cardiac death, only cornea and skin can be utilized. In case of cardiac death, only cornea and skin can be utilized. So in case of eye donation, basically cornea is utilized. But in case of brain death, more than 30 different type of organs and tissue can be utilized. For example, some of the organs that can be used are kidney, liver, lungs, pancreas, heart, etc. These are some of the organs. So these organs have to be transplanted into in a recipient. There is a donor and a recipient. Say a person whose kidney is not working. So the kidney you get from the donor, and it must be put into the recipient body within a stipulated time period. So these were the important organs. Kidney you have 2, 1 liver, 1 lungs, pancreas 1 and heart 1. So a brain dead person can give life to 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 persons. 6 persons who are in utter need of who are in dire need of an organ can get organ from a brain dead person. Organ. Now beside the organ, the tissues that can be harvested, one is organ, another is tissues. The tissue that can be harvested is cornea, bone, skin, valve of the heart valve, blood vessel, nerves and tendons. Beside that, other tissues can also be harvested. These are tissues that can be harvested. Now government is trying to create awareness about concept of brain death. In our society, the concept is about cardiac death, but Government of India is trying to create awareness about concept of brain death. In India, more than 2 lakh kidney are required annually. One of the problem in case of diabetes is kidney damage. So more than 2 lakh kidney requirement is there in the country every year. More than 2 lakh kidney. And people die due to absence of the important organ kidney. So to overcome this problem, government has set up an organization called NOTO. To streamline the process of organ donation, government has set up this organization called NOTO, National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. And the purpose is what? Institutionalizing the concept of organ donation so that the whole process can be institutionalized. This is the logo of this organization, NOTO, National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. This is under DGHS, Director General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So NOTO. Here you find ROTO and SOTO, Regional Organ Tissue Transplant Organization and State Organ Tissue Transplant Organization. The aim of NOTO is to improve organ donation and transplantation. So NOTO has established tissue bank for conserving the donated tissue. At the same time, it maintains an online register of the person who need organ and the person who have volunteered for organ donation. There is a thin line between if organ donation is not organ donation if not regulated can become organ trade. So therefore there is need of regulating it, maintaining a transparent system for those people who are ready to donate the organ and those people who need the organ. So transparency is needed. Recently government has made a change in the Motor Vehicle Act, and now there's an option to pledge an organ donation on the driving license. So the Motor Vehicle Act has been amended, and now in the new and the renewed driving license there is a column for organ donation. In India, around 1.5 lakh people die annually in road accident. Around 1.5 lakh people die annually in road accident, and many of them become brain dead. So these people can be utilized. They have become brain dead. So if their family member and their family member consent is there, or if their pledge is there for organ donation, then they can be a source of organ. This can save large number of life. So brain death is important for pre as well as mains. Brain death is important for prelims as well as mains. It is very important from social aspect also. India has huge number of diabetes cases, and one of the critical condition in case of diabetes is kidney damage. So the primary reason of death in case of diabetes is kidney damage. Now such person will require organ donation. That is why no to brain death and organ donation becomes important from social and health point of view. Now moving into the traditional topics of healthcare. Now we are moving into the traditional topic for prelims. This area is exclusively for prelims. Now body fluid, that is blood and circulation. So blood is basically a special connective tissue. It provides connectivity between the different portion of the body, and this consists of a fluid matrix, that is plasma. You might be hearing in the recent time as plasma therapy. Please donate plasma. Government has been asking the COVID recovered patient to donate plasma and formed element of blood cell. So blood has two components, one is plasma and second is the blood cells. So plasma is basically yellow or straw colored liquid. And it forms about 55%. Plasma forms about 55% of the blood. Plasma forms around 55% of the blood, and more than 90% of the plasma is water. More than 90% water, and protein contribute around 6 to 8%. 6 to 8% is your protein. These protein include fibrinogen that have role in blood clotting, globulins, that is antibodies. Antibodies are primary globulins. Antibodies are basically globulins. Antibodies are globulins and albumin. So these are the major proteins. So fibrinogen is for clotting, Globulin, antibody, and albumin helps in maintaining the osmotic balance. Egg also has good amount of albumin. So blood also contains large amount of albumin. Besides that, plasma contains small amount of minerals such as sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate ions, etc., chlorine, etc. Plasma also contains certain amount of minerals, and the important minerals: sodium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate, chlorine, etc. Beside that, the end product of digestion, that is glucose, amino acid, lipid, etc., are also present in plasma, and they also contain the factor for clotting of blood, coagulation or clotting of blood. So they are present in the plasma. So blood has two portions, one is plasma and second are the elements or the cells. Now blood has three type of cell: RBC or erythrocyte, WBC or leukocyte, and third is platelet. They are together called form element, and they together form 45% of the blood. 45% is your blood cells and 55% is the plasma. The first important is your erythrocyte or RBC, red blood cells. Erythrocyte or RBC. They are the most abundant cell in blood. Out of the three types, RBC, WBC and platelets, RBC is maximum amount. So their number varies from 5 million per millimeter cube. 5 million per millimeter cube in male, and in female it is slightly less, that is 4.5 million per millimeter cube. So maximum. And the function of RBC is what? They transport oxygen and transport oxygen. Erythrocyte or RBC contain the pigment hemoglobin. In respiratory system, you can go in detail, that is we have discussed over there. In respiratory system, oxygen combines with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. So you have hemoglobin. Then the formation of RBC is in red bone marrow. RBC is formed in they are formed in red bone marrow, and they are destroyed in spleen. So spleen is sometimes also referred to as graveyard of RBC. Since they are destroyed in spleen, spleen is also sometimes referred to as graveyard of RBC, and the life of RBC is 120 days. The life of RBC is 120 days. And in case of mammals, RBC is lacking nucleus. Why? The reason is entire space inside. The entire space inside is filled with hemoglobin. So say this is the RBC cell. Inside the cell, the entire space is filled with hemoglobin. So if the nucleus was there, the nucleus would occupy certain space. That is why what happens? The entire space is filled with hemoglobin. This entire space is filled with hemoglobin. So first is your RBC. The second type of cell is white blood cell or leukocyte. WBC or leukocyte. Leukocyte or WBC. So they are colorless. There is no pigment. Red color is due to pigment hemoglobin. So WBC are relatively less in number. Their number varies between 6,000 to 8,000, and in sub book it is given 6,000 to 10,000 per millimeter cube of blood. So number of white blood cell is quite low as compared to RBC, is quite low as compared to red blood cell. Now white blood cell can be classified on the following criteria. They can classify it based on the following criteria. First, if the WBC has granules, if dot dot or granular structure are there, such type of cell are called granular cells. And if there is no granules, this is your A granule. The first classification is based on presence or absence of granules. Now in case of granules, dyeing is done. You add dye or color. Dye or color is added, and based on that nomenclature is done. For example, basophil. So basophil take basically basical colors. So those WBC that take basic stain are called basophil. Those that take acidic stain are called acidophil, and those that take neutral stain are called neutrophil. So depending upon the staining, you have the three type of cell: basophil, eosinophil or acidophil, and third is neutrophil. A granular means lack of granules. A granulars are divided into lymphocyte. A granular can be divided into lymphocyte and monocyte. They are divided into lymphocyte and monocyte. Lymphocyte can be further divided into B lymphocyte, and second is T lymphocyte. So they can further be divided into B lymphocyte and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. So that is the classification. Two main type: granulocyte, agranulocyte. Based on staining, you have neutrophil, acidophil or eosinophil, and third is basophil. And agranulocyte, you have lymphocyte and monocyte. Now neutrophils, they are the most abundant. Maximum number of WBC is that of neutrophils. Around 60 to 65% of the WBC are neutrophils. 60 to 65%. And the least is your basophil, around 1.5 to 1%. Neutrophil and monocyte, they are phagocytic cell, phagocytes, and they destroy the foreign organism entering the body. So neutrophil is also called first line of defense. This is also the first line of defense. If a microbe enters the body, the first cell to encounter it, if a microbe enters the body, the first cell to encounter is your neutrophil. The first cell to encounter is your neutrophil. So in phagocytosis, what happens? In phagocytosis, say this is neutrophil, and this blue colored dot is the foreign microbe. Now what happens? By showing amoebic movement like this, it will slowly engulf the microbe. First step, second, and finally the microbe will be taken inside the WBC and it would be destroyed. So this process is phagocytic process. This process is your phagocytic process. Then basophil. Basophil cell secrete, the basophil cells, they secrete chemicals like histamine, serotonin, heparin, etc. and they are involved in the inflammatory reaction. So basophil are involved in the inflammatory reaction. They cause inflammation. And the third type is your eosinophil or acidophil. They take acidic stain. This is around 2 to 3%. They also resist infection and they are also associated with allergic reaction. So eosinophil are also associated with allergic reaction. So these were the three type of your granulocyte. Now moving into agranulocyte. Among the agranulocyte, we have lymphocyte. That is 20 to 25%. Among lymphocyte, you have two main types, B lymphocyte and T lymphocytes. And both of them are responsible for immune response. Both of them are responsible for immune response. Immune response. In case of HIV or AIDS, the number of helper T cell or CD4 cell is reduced. So this helper T cell or CD4 cell is a type of lymphocyte. We have different type of T lymphocyte, helper T cell, we have different type, helper T cell, killer T cell, cytotoxic T cell. So different type of T cells are there. One of the important thing in case of HIV is the number of helper T cell is drastically reduced. The number of helper T cell is drastically reduced in case of your HIV. This is one of the characteristics. The largest WBC are monocyte. So monocyte are the largest WBC. The largest WBC are a monocyte and their number is increased in the case of tuberculosis. So you have if the number of monocyte is on the upper side, this is an indication that the person can be suffering from tuberculosis. That is why one of the important aspect in your treatment is TC and DC. Total count and differential count. Total count and differential count. One is the total number of RBC, total number of WBC, and second is different percentage of WBC. Different percentage of this WBC. The third type of cells, the third type of cell present in the blood are, the third type of cell that are present are platelets. Platelets are also called thrombocyte. The platelets are also called thrombocytes. They are also called thrombocyte or platelets. Platelet or thrombocyte. Their number varies from 1.5 lakh to 4 lakh per millimeter, and they are responsible for clotting of blood. So their primary role is in clotting of blood. They will release different type of chemicals which are involved in blood clot. And if their number is reduced, this can lead to clotting disorders. If their number is reduced, it can lead to clotting disorder, and this can lead to loss of body blood from the body. There would be loss of blood from the body. In case of dengue, one of the characteristic cases in case of dengue is the number of platelet goes down. So in case of dengue, the platelet count is reduced. Platelet count is reduced in case of dengue. One characteristic thing. There are other features also, but this is one of them. We have the concept of blood group. In case of blood, we have two things. One is RH factor, another is blood group. So RH factor and blood group are two things that are there in blood. Now this blood group was discovered by Karl Landstein. This was discovered by Karl Landstein. Karl Landstein discovered the blood group. Now in case of blood group, we have four types. A, B, AB and O. Now let's first take the case of blood group A. In case of blood group A, there is antigen A on the RBC. Say for example, this antigen is there, antigen A on the surface of RBC, which is like a triangle. But the antibody in the plasma is against B. This antibody is against B. And A blood group can donate to A and AB, and it can receive from A and O. So A can donate to A and AB, and it can receive from A and O. In case of B, the antigen is say in the form of square. The antigen on the surface of RBC is B type, and antibody is against A, and B can receive from B and AB, and B can donate to B and O. B can donate to B and O. Whereas in case of AB, you have both the triangle and rectangle on the surface, that is AB. So both A and B antigen are present on the surface of RBC. But there is no antibody in the plasma. So it does not react against either antigen A or antigen B. And that is why it can receive from all the four, A, B, AB and O. But it can donate only to AB. AB can donate only to AB. The reason being, if you give AB to say A, this antibody against B will react against this antibody against B will react against the B antigen. And if you give AB to B, this antibody against A will react with this one. That is why, this is the reason why AB can be given only to AB, no other group. Now moving into O, the last, AB is called universal recipient. It can receive from all. AB can receive from all group. Whereas in case of O, let's take this, say this one is O. This one is O. Now there is no antigen on the surface. Neither this triangle shaped antigen nor this square shaped antigen. There is no antigen. Now O has no antigen on the surface of RBC, but it has antibody against both A and against B. That is why O can neither receive blood from A, because on this surface it has A antigen, this A dash will react with A. It cannot donate to B because this B antigen will react with B dash. That is why O cannot receive from any other blood group except O. But it can donate to all because there is no surface on the antigen. There is no surface on the antigen. That is why O is called universal donor. O is called universal donor and AB is called universal recipient. So O is the universal donor and O is universal donor, whereas AB is universal recipient. So this is the case of universal donor and universal recipient. Now there is another thing called RH factor. RH factor. So RH factor is similar to the antigen which is present in rhesus monkey. This was first observed in rhesus monkey, and that is why it is called RH factor. And this is found on the surface of RBC. Like A antigen, B antigen, the RH antigen is also found on the surface of RBC. 80% of the human are RH positive. 80% of them are RH positive. So if RH antigen is present, we say RH positive, and if RH antigen is absent, if it is absent, we call it as RH negative. The person is RH negative if the RH antigen is not. Now if the RH negative person is given or RH positive blood, or he is exposed to RH positive blood, then antibody against the RH factor will be formed inside his body. So the RH negative person is given RH positive blood. So in this case, antibody against the RH antigen will be formed. This is the reason why the RH factor matching should be done before blood transfusion. Therefore, before blood transfusion, there should be matching of the RH factors before blood transfusion. There is a specific case called erythroblastosis fetalis. This case is there. There is a specific case called erythroblastosis fetalis. Erythroblastosis fetalis. Now this happens when the wife is RH negative and the husband is RH positive. This condition, erythroblastosis fetalis, occurs when the case is that wife is RH negative and husband is RH positive. Wife is negative and husband is RH positive. That is the case of erythroblastosis fetalis. erythroblastosis fetalis. Now, if father is Rh positive and mother is Rh negative, there is a chance that the fetus is greater chance that the fetus would be Rh positive. Now what happens? The Rh antigen of the fetus can enter into the mother's body at the time of childbirth. First pregnancy is normal. Now what happens at the time of delivery of the first child? So the first child is Rh positive. Then the mother's blood is exposed to small amount of the Rh positive blood of the fetus. So at the time of childbirth, small amount of fetus blood enters into the mother's body, and in that case mother's body starts producing antibodies against the Rh factor. Now mother's body produces antigen against the Rh factor. Now in the subsequent pregnancy, in the pregnancy ahead, the Rh antibody that has been developed in the mother's body can move across the placenta and destroy the fetal RBC, and they can destroy the fetal RBC. So if the RBC of the fetus are destroyed, it can lead to a condition called anemia or jaundice. But anemia and jaundice, it can lead to both. Anemia means less number of RBC, and jaundice because the RBC, due to the damage of RBC, the fetus can suffer from jaundice, and this condition is called erythroblastosis fetalis, because even the death of the fetus can take place. So due to Rh negative mother and Rh positive father, there can be a condition in the fetus, and this condition is called erythroblastosis fetalis. This condition is called erythroblastosis fetalis.